Hello students, and welcome you all to this video lecture series on subject metallurgy. In previous 3 videos we have seen what is a metallurgy and what is the syllabus for this metallurgy subject. Also we have seen what are the materials, what are different types of materials, and what are the properties of metals. These things are the prerequisite for studying this subject metallurgy. Now in this video we will start chapter number 6, that is a introduction to powder metallurgy. Now before studying we will just look on the syllabus of this chapter. In this chapter we will see the significance of the powder metallurgy, that is powder metallurgy is to be used, what is the importance or significance that we must use the powder metallurgy for few cases. Next, steps in powder metallurgy. What are the various steps in powder metallurgy, that also we will see. Then the applications of powder metallurgy. Then the methods of powder manufacturing. What are the various methods that are used for producing the powder, first that we will see. Then mixing and blending. This powder production, mixing, blending, compaction and sintering are the steps in the powder metallurgy. That steps we will see in detail. First step is the production of powder, then the mixing and blending, then compaction method, and then sintering method. These steps we will see one by one in detail in this chapter. Next, typical powder metal applications and their flow charts. These next three examples we will see in detail with their flow charts, how they are prepared actually. First application is self-lubricated bearing, second cemented carbide cutting tool, and third is a friction material. So let's start to this chapter. First is the significance, why powder metallurgy has to be used. Now first thing is that processing combinations of the materials that would otherwise be impossible to mix. Such processes or such materials are there which are very difficult to combine by other processes. So first tell me, what are the various other processes that you can use for production of a component. So you can use a casting method, you can use a machining method, you can use a forging, you can use extrusion, you can use injection methods. So all these methods, machining, casting, extraction, or can use extrusion, injection molding, all these methods can be applied on the components can be applied in which the material is either pure, or the material, if you are combining the two material, these are homogeneously mixed to each other. So there are some materials which are difficult to mix in each other by these processes. So in that case we have to use this powder metallurgy. So these friction materials, hard metals or cemented carbides, diamond cutting tool materials, electrical contact materials, these materials has to be prepared by powder metallurgy method. And diamond cutting tool, electrical contact materials, friction materials, hard metals such as the cemented carbide cutting tools, these has to be made by powder metallurgy, because in that different materials are used and it is difficult to combine these materials by other processes. So in that example also you can see the various cutting tools which are shown in the diagram. So these are the hard cemented carbide cutting tools. This is the first important thing why we use the powder metallurgy. Secondly, the processing of materials with very high melting points. So for example, iron is having melting point nearly about 1700. That higher melting point, it is difficult to achieve, or it required some higher processes. To avoid that, this simple powder metallurgy process can also be used to get the desired product without achieving that much higher melting point. So this is the second significance why we should use the powder metallurgy, that is the processing of the materials with a very high melting temperature or melting point that we can avoid. Next, the products with a controlled level of porosity. Now by using powder metallurgy we can get the products which are having some amount of, or which can be having some amount of porosity. So in some applications such as oil retaining or self lubricating bearing, in self lubricating bearing we require the continuous lubrication of bearing by itself only whenever the oil from that bearing get reduced by the continuous friction. So that self lubrication can be done by using a small pores in that bearing only. So these pores we can get inherently in the bearing by using powder metallurgy. So the porosity of that final product we can control in case of powder metallurgy. So this is a very good or important significance of this powder metallurgy, that the products with a controlled level of porosity we can achieve. Next significance, that is products with a superior properties or microstructure. Now the microstructure will affect on the properties of the material. Now if the microstructure is different for two components, then the two components will show or behave differently under application of load. So this can be controlled by the powder metallurgy. The products with a superior property and microstructure we can achieve by the powder metallurgy process. Example, magnetic materials, high speed steels, nickel or cobalt based superalloys, that we can process by powder metallurgy, and we can get the superior properties by using the microstructure. This is also a good significance. Next, cost effectiveness. Now related to the other processes, this is also a cost effective process. Just we are using few steps to prepare the powder, and then we are using few steps to prepare the final component. So by using this overall process we can prepare the component with very less cost. So these are the significance of the powder metallurgy. Again I will revise this: the processing combinations of the materials that would otherwise be impossible to mix, that we can do by powder metallurgy. Then the processing of the materials with a very high melting point, that also we can do with the help of powder metallurgy. Products with a controlled level of porosity, that we can also process by powder metallurgy. Then the products with the superior properties or microstructure, that also we can do with the help of powder metallurgy. And the powder metallurgy process is a cost effective. These are the significance of powder metallurgy. That is why should we do or why should we study the powder metallurgy. Next we will see now what is the actual definition of powder metallurgy. Now powder metallurgy may be defined as the art and science of production of metal powders and utilizing them to make the serviceable objects. By producing the small powder of the metal, we are making the final products and utilizing them to actual practice. So this is the total powder metallurgy. Again I will read that definition: the art and science of producing the metal powders and utilizing them to make the serviceable objects is nothing but a powder metallurgy. Or this can also be defined as powder metallurgy is a processing technology in which parts are produced by mixing, blending, compacting, sintering metallic and non-metallic powders. So this, in this definition, all the processes also comes. That is, again I will read this definition, you can study that second definition, you can remember that second definition, because in that definition the sequence of processes is also given, and that is also important. Powder metallurgy is a processing technology in which parts are produced by mixing, blending, compacting and sintering metallic or non-metallic powders. So these four processes are very important: mixing, blending, compacting and sintering. The metallic or non-metallic powders also. You can produce the components with the help of non-metallic powders also. These are the definitions. Now the few points regarding that powder metallurgy. This powder metallurgy is an additive manufacturing process. Now you must know the few concepts in manufacturing technology, that is what is a additive manufacturing technology and what is a subtractive manufacturing technology. Machining process or milling, cutting, all these processes are the subtractive manufacturing process in which you are removing some material from the component and preparing the final product. But in this case of casting or powder metallurgy or 3D printing, all these three processes or manufacturing methods are the additive manufacturing methods. So this powder metallurgy is a additive manufacturing process. In powder metallurgy, range of particle size is varying from 4 to 200 microns. From 4 micron to 200 microns, this size of powder can be varied depending on your application. You can have or you can use that. If you require a greater amount of porosity, you have to use a larger particle size. If you have to use small amount of porosity or no porosity, that is dense product you have to make, then in that case you can use a small particle size. So this particle size can be varied in the powder metallurgy, and you can make very strongly dense component to the porous component also by using powder metallurgy. Next, this powder metallurgy mass production to net shape can be done. In powder metallurgy, mass production can be done. In last slide you have seen, I think, one animation. This process you might have observed and you might have wondered that which is that process. So this is the actual process of compacting and producing the product by using powder metallurgy. In this animation, the powder is poured in the chamber and high pressure is applied with the help of punch, and you are getting the final product. So by such processes we can produce the components in mass. So mass production is possible in case of powder metallurgy, and eliminating and reducing the need for a subsequent machining. So here by using powder metallurgy, it is not necessary that it is not required to do the subsequent machining process after the production of component. So in that animation you have seen the component as it is prepared. After that it doesn't require any machining process. You can do some machining process, but it is generally observed that there is no subsequent processing methods are required on that. So this is also one of the major point in the powder metallurgy process. Next, although the parts are large as 20 kg can be produced by powder metallurgy. So the parts from 2 kg to 20 kg you can produce by using powder metallurgy. As large as 20 kg and as small as 2 kg components you can prepare by the powder metallurgy. Now the steel and steel alloys of aluminum also. So these components are having very larger size and they can be produced by the powder metallurgy process. Now the powder metallurgy process, in powder metallurgy process, other powder metallurgy materials are copper, nickel, tungsten, ceramic materials. These can also be used. Not only the metal elements, other elements such as other non-metal elements such as ceramic materials, that also we can use in the powder metallurgy process. So this is regarding the powder metallurgy process, and these are the applications that I have shown which we can prepare by using powder metallurgy process. In this lecture we have seen why powder metallurgy is to be used, that is the significance of powder metallurgy, and what is the definition of powder metallurgy, and what are the few basic points regarding the powder metallurgy. Now this is only regarding this lecture. Other parts we will see in next lecture. Thank you very much.